I'm about to reveal the advanced repair to fix a Samsung 4K TV that has lost audio control. But first, I'm going to show you two simple tricks that might resolve the issue without requiring the advanced repair. As you can see, if I adjust the volume up, I'm stuck on 44. If I adjust it down, I'm stuck on 42. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Nick. I started Nick's TV Repair about a decade ago, and since then I have fixed over 27,000 devices. The first simple trick I'm going to show you is a factory reset.
For the factory reset, bring up the menu, scroll down to Support, then Self-Diagnosis, then all the way down to Reset. Unless you changed it, the pin should be 0000, then hit Reset. OK, the TV should shut off and turn itself back on.
If you still don't have proper audio control, the second trick is to do a software update. You can either connect the TV via Wi-Fi or an Ethernet cable, which is what we did in this scenario.
Bring the menu up again, then scroll down to Support, Software Update, Update Now, and if an update is available, go ahead and run it.
These two tricks may or may not have resolved your issue, but essentially they do tackle the same thing, which is a software corruption. If neither the software update or the factory reset have resolved your issue, we will have to tackle it on a component level. In order to do that, we'll have to remove the mainboard, so I'll show you how to remove the back cover and the mainboard from the TV. First, I'm going to remove the 4 stand screws on the back. Now these 4 screws are a little bit different than the rest, so we'll keep them with the stand. And now the stand just slides out. Next, we're going to focus on the screws on the left side, starting with the one that was under the stand. And these are going to be all machine screws, so we'll put them in their own pile. And finally, the screws on the right side. These again are all machine screws, so we'll put them with the rest of the machine screws. And I have one last plastic screw over here. And because this one's different, we'll put it in its own pile. And now the cover should lift up and off. Next, let's focus on the mainboard. We're gonna first start with the power connector by pinching the sides and wiggling it out. Next, we'll do the speakers. So we'll press down on this tab and wiggle it out. Same for the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. We'll press down, wiggle out. And finally, same for the IR and buttons. Press down, wiggle out. Next, we have these 2 ribbons. So they have a latch mechanism. We're gonna flip the latches up, and now we can wiggle them out. So again, flip the latches up, wiggle out the ribbon. And lastly, to remove the board, there are no screws, but there's a locking mechanism right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to lift the board away from the chassis of the TV and then slide it this way. Now it lifts up and is free. Now before I reveal any information regarding the advanced repair, if you have one of these mainboards you'd like to send in for us to fix, we do offer flat rate services which come with a 1-year warranty, and I'll have links for that in the description below. Alright, let's bring it to the workbench. These mainboards have 4 different IC chips with software on them. However, we're only going to be focusing on 2 of them, both of which are under the heatsink. To remove it, we're going to have to push through these 4 pins. Using my needle nose pliers, I'm going to pinch it and push it through. And same with these 2. Now the heatsink is stuck on there a little bit from the thermal paste, so we want to be gentle. And here we are. We have one chip over here with a pins called an EEPROM, and another chip over here which is called the eMMC chip. This one does not have any pins. The eMMC chip sits on a ball grid array. We often refer to it as a BGA type chip because of how it connects to the circuit board. Now technically the majority of the software failures originate from the EEPROM over here, not the eMMC chip. With that said, we always reprogram both chips, and there are 2 reasons for that. Number 1, even though it is rare, the eMMC chip software can get corrupted. The second and more common reason is because there are dozens of different versions of the software used for the EEPROM and the eMMC chip. We can't always know what revision is programmed to the eMMC chip, so if we reprogram the EEPROM with a different revision, then the eMMC and EEPROM won't be able to communicate, and the mainboard won't be able to turn the TV on.
In order to reprogram the EEPROM, we first need to desolder it off of the board. We're going to use our hot air for the removal, which will melt the solder on all 8 legs at the same time. Once the solder is molten, we can lift the chip off of the board. Now let's place it in our socket and reprogram it with known good software. Next, let's verify it. Okay, everything is programmed correctly. We can remove it from the socket and solder it back onto the board. Next, we are going to reprogram the eMMC chip. Same thing, we have to remove it from the circuit board first. Because this one is a BGA type chip, it is a bit more sensitive, and because we are planning on reusing it, we need to be a bit more careful with the removal. Again, we will place the chip in our eMMC programmer socket, detect it, and check on its life. The programmer states it's in good condition with only 10 to 20% of its life used. So let's reprogram it with good software of the same version as the EEPROM. The eMMC chip takes a while to program, so while we wait, let's prepare the board for the reinstallation. Okay, all three ROMs of the chip are fully programmed, so it is now ready to be reinstalled on the board.
Now that we've reprogrammed the EEPROM and the eMMC chip, let's go ahead and reinstall our heatsink onto our processor. The original thermal paste is very dried out, so we're going to want to clean all that off and put brand new thermal paste on there. I'm just using isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip to clean off the original thermal paste, but it is very crusty and dried off, so it's going to take a minute for us to remove it all. And when it comes to the heatsink, we don't have to be as gentle. So we're going to use our spatula to remove the bulk of it first. And now we can use our isopropyl alcohol and Q-tip to clean off the rest. The replacement thermal paste we're going to be using today is the MX4. And of course, we're going to cover both of the dies. I'm going to line up my heatsink, put a little bit of pressure on it, lift it back up, and I just want to make sure that I have a good spread, and I do. Okay, now we can go ahead and lock it in and bring it back to the TV for a final live test. The main board is back in the TV. Let's turn it on. And let's see. We are able to fully control our audio now. That does conclude a successful repair for this Samsung mainboard. If you have one you'd like to send in for us to fix, we offer flat rate services which come with a 1-year warranty. We have those available on our website, which I'll link in the description down below. If you found the video helpful or useful, leave us a like, subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching.